Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. And we're finally back with some mod reviews. It's been a while, hasn't it? Now, you see, we've been waiting for Boris Todbringer and the Cult of Ulric for the longest time now. There are a decent amount of mods on the workshop, but the majority of them have unfortunately become long outdated and no longer usable. Though there is a very recent mod known as the Cult of Ulric / Army of Middenland, which not only adds in a few legendary characters, but also the army list from the Storm of Chaos campaign for Middenland, which is pretty cool because that means that you'll be able to play in a very different style. So let's not waste any more time and just jump right in. So obviously with this mod you will also need Mixu's faction unlocker, as that's the only way to be able to play as this faction. You will start off your campaign with complete control over the province of Middenland. That's all 4 territories, which yeah, is pretty good, and it starts off with a few different buildings here and there. And you will start at war with the Skulltakers and the Leafcutters tribes. The Skulltakers themselves normally get killed off within a turn or two, and the Leafcutters are your direct enemy right next to you. Other than that, of course, keep an eye out for Morga the Shadowgave, as he will start attacking Imperial provinces, and the Beastmen have received their updates, so they are a little stronger. Also keep in mind that you don't have a lot of ways to expand upon if you want to keep your Imperial authority okay, so you're gonna have to decide where to go, how to expand, and who to make war with. Your faction effects at the moment currently has no name. I'm not sure if that's a bug or not, but it has the following benefits. Hero capacity +2 for Priests of Ulric, that's a new hero character that we'll check out soon enough. Hero recruitment cost -50% for warrior priests. I believe this also affects that of the Priests of Ulric. And finally, recruitment cost -50% for Empire Knights units. This works a little better for you if you're using the current cavalry beta, as it does improve cavalry uses quite dramatically. Boris's current unique trait is known as the Todbringer, which has the following bonuses: melee attack +5 when fighting against Empire, melee defense +5 when fighting against the Empire, and finally leadership +8 for Lord's Army. I'm assuming the whole melee attack and melee defense thing is because right now they're trying to form the secessionists to try and take over the Empire themselves. You will also notice a bunch of other campaign and battle effects that you'll have at the very beginning, but keep in mind that you do begin with the White Cloak of Ulric and the Runefang associated with being the Elector Count of Middenland. So you do have a lot of bonuses, and he is quite powerful at the very start. As far as I can tell, nothing's really changed with his skills. Everything is very much the same to an Empire General. I'm not sure if there's any plans for that in the future, but the other lords and heroes added for this mod do have some unique stuff, so don't worry about that. And let's be honest, Boris is quite strong as it is, especially once you mount him on the Griffin. Your buildings won't really change too much, barring the fact that your Temples of Sigmar have now been renamed to Temples of Ulric because, well, yeah, Ulric. What you will notice is that a bunch of new units have been added into your possible roster now, and these are all themed after the 6th edition Middenland list of the Storm of Chaos, which is pretty cool, as that means that you have a bunch of units already being attached to your current ones as more of a DLC type of way. As you're aware, when DLCs get added in, you get new units, but it doesn't really replace anything that you currently have. And it's integrated just like any other unit, so you can find them through your typical tiers. You'll also have access to 2 legendary lords at the very beginning. Funny enough, one of mine is currently wounded, but that's because of some Elector Count event. You know, the usual ones where you can send your armies to go help another settlement and then you have an event battle? Well, for some reason he was at the forefront of that, meaning that he got some XP, and it's curious because then you have to wait 4 turns to recruit again, but I've just never seen this happen before with a lord character. Also keep in mind that while their portholes and their unit cards might show something else, like for example here you can see Volkmar the Grim, they do have unique models which is shown on the campaign map and in battles. Let's start looking at the legendary lords themselves, starting off with Ar-Ulric, and obviously let's look at his actual trait first, known as Ar-Ulric. It has the following benefits: Public Order +4 for local province, Weapon Strength +10% for Cult of Ulric units in Lord's Army, and finally Melee Attack +8 for Cult of Ulric's units in Lord's Army. This means that you'll want to focus around the actual Cult of Ulric units added in through this mod, rather than the baseline vanilla units. In terms of skills, Ar-Ulric will obviously play very similar to that of a warrior priest, but with some unique skills, which will give more of a frozen winter type of feeling. Some pretty cool stuff like reducing the enemy melee attack by a certain amount of radius constantly and so on. It works out really well, and it allows you to boost up your capabilities in damage, whilst also focusing around your Cult of Ulric units. You'll be able to get a pretty good amount of buffs for them, and it will make them a lot stronger, which is honestly honestly really good, considering that the grand majority of your army will likely be very focused on melee, on foot, and on cavalry, so this is going to be very helpful for you. You've also got some unique items, which I'll let you explore them yourselves. There is a rather interesting one, however. His armor will allow a 80% bonus to fire resistance for your whole army, which I think is a bit overpowered, but hey. Your other legendary lord available to you at turn 1 is Rain Volkard, Grandmaster of the Knights of the White Wolf. Yes, quite a bit of a title. His own unique trait, Grandmaster of the Knights of the White Wolf, has the following benefits. Upkeep minus 20% for Knights of the White Wolf in Lord's Army, and finally charge bonus plus 16% for Knights of the White Wolf in Lord's Army. Again, this is a cavalry focused lord, and if you're using the cavalry beta, it will probably be a bit more beneficial to you. In terms of skills, he'll fight like a average Empire General, but the character does of course have his own unique skill tree, which focuses around that of boosting up your Cult of Ulric units once again. It makes them fairly powerful, and those bonuses are quite good against the Warriors of Chaos too, so you'll want to bring some of these troops. Mind you, by the time that they spawn, you'll mostly be using rocket batteries and so on, but if you want to try something themed, trust me, this is fun. You will also have access to 2 new hero types, the Seneschal of the White Wolf and the Priest of Ulric. Both of these kind of work as the Warrior Priest and the Empire Captain, but giving you a more Middenland feel, which follows the whole theme of the northern provinces. It's a bit different to that of the southerners. In fact, the Empire does vary quite a bit when you actually look at individual provinces in terms of lore. The Seneschal itself doesn't really have that many unique skills. Its baseline skills focuses around that of an Empire Captain as stated before, so you know what it's there for. It's a basic melee hero. It does have some skills, like for example Glorious Charge, which boosts up the capabilities of your Knights of the White Wolf in the hero's army. You can stack this by the way, and it does get kind of ridiculous. And a bonus towards Beastmen, which is rather useful considering that the Beastmen do become quite bothersome, especially when they start respawning their tribes and so on, but even then, it's not too useful in late game as the Beastmen become a bit of a joke by then, and quite early on you've already dealt with Morga before he becomes a threat. Whereas the Priest of Ulric, as you can imagine, fights in a very similar way to that of the standard warrior priest. Some of the skills have of course changed to be more in line with that of a warrior priest of Ulric, but nothing too drastic. It's just very much the same, and you will be using it pretty much the same on the battlefield. We're going to take the time now to look over all the units with all their stats and so on, and whilst we do, we're going to go over the mod in general. So a decent amount of units have been added, even some regiments of renown. It kind of feels like the typical DLC pack that you'd get just for one race instead of 2, and it plays really well. I think the new units are well balanced. If you're a fan of the Storm of Chaos and just the earlier editions of Warhammer Fantasy, this will give you big nostalgia vibes, because it did for me too, and it's really nice because the units look good, they are incredibly themed, everything feels like it should be there. Honestly, I don't have too many complaints regarding it. I think it's a really fun flavor pack, and if you want to play as Boris but want more theme, this is obviously really good. The mod itself is in the description below if you want to give it a try too. All it really needs is Boris to have a few more skills, because that would be kind of nice. Maybe some Ulric specific techs would be cool, or just 1 or 2 changes there, and a Ulrician lord, a baseline generic lord, because as far as I could see there wasn't any, which is a shame because you want to focus on Ulric warriors, so it would just be nice to have some Ulrician type of generals to lead your army. But honestly, after that, it just feels really good. The balancing is good, as I've said, and everything feels like it should be there. Of course, modders can't really make new mechanics and so on because that's kind of hard-coded, so everything just feels like it's like a vanilla baseline lord. You've got all the benefits, of course, of the Empire rework that came long ago. The only difficult trouble you'll be having with this campaign is expansion, because obviously you're surrounded by other Empire factions, and you don't want to kill them because that kind of brings down your authority. But I guess just moving into Bretonnia is doable. It's quite close, or you can just decide to go destroy Kislev and build up there. If you want to play the Empire again, try this mod out. It's honestly pretty good, and it works really well with other mods. I've had no issues whatsoever at the moment, and I've been playing it for a little bit of time at this point. Again, the mod's in the description below if you want to try it out, and I'll see you all again very soon. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel has been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.